Talk to me on a customer level about what Panasonic is doing and what they're thinking.
We've got 100 years worth of a history of dealing with the consumer.
Yes.
And we know it's not easy to deal with the consumer. So it's something that we know pretty well. And we know consumer behavior is really hard to guess. And the consumers are finicky and they will change quickly. So the industry has to get their head around the fact that product life cycles need to be shorter. We have to be able to adjust. And we believe that when you get to an electric vehicle, for instance, you can modularize that vehicle a lot easier than you can with this car that has a big engine and an exhaust system in it. And you can actually start to build, Lego-like cars that meet the requirement of the end user, which is all that's important. So we think electrification happens for that reason. And from a little bit different perspective, we think autonomous absolutely happens and rideshare happens because the thing that consumers tell us time and time is they're just wanting more time in their day. And driving and being behind a wheel is not productive.
You're working with Tesla. Did you learn that from working with them?
It reinforced what we already knew in warp speed, right?
Yes.
They absolutely believe in that. They really believe in delivering for the customer. I mean, you look at their design, you look at their styling, you look at the fact that they're able to have pent-up demand like nobody else in the industry. That means
amazing.
They understand the consumer, right? It's not that they just put out an electric vehicle. They put out an electric vehicle that people are willing to wait 2 years for.
That's what's amazing to me, and yet people keep saying they'll be dead tomorrow.
Right.
And you're building a gigafactory for them. 400,000 people give $1,000 of money to wait for 2 years. Do you really think that they will be around in 2 years?
I think consumers speak, right? And if you have the consumer behind you and you've got pent-up demand and they desire your product, you have every reason to survive. And I think that's what the consumer experiences tell us. There's a lot of disruption in industry. Listen to the consumer.
It's a good point. Tom, thank you very much.
Pleasure.